It works
So
out.
in a way, COVID increased
Yeah,
your.
absolutely. It has been opposite for me.
So there's like one good thing that has come out of
Right,
COVID.
right, right.
Hello, welcome to Talking Freelance. In this episode, we have Shushmita. She's a graphic designer and illustrator. She's been working as a freelancer and contract designer for different companies and industries, which include the IT sector, fashion, retail, e commerce, and education. She does a lot of things: product, logos, social media posts, illustrations, PPTs, typography, mandala, line art, and a lot of other things. So, without any further ado, let me bring her on so she can tell you a bit more about herself.
So, yeah, I'm Sushmita. I am a freelancer, but I'm actually a graphic designer and I'm not limited to being working as a graphic designer only. So, in graphic designer, what we do is what we think is there are some illustrations, there are some typographies and other kinds of works. But what I do is I work for different fields and different sectors. So, suppose if I'm working for IT, I'm also working for the e commerce, fashion, and other industries at the same time. Cool. And I'm also actually an engineer at the same time, but I did not pursue it as a career option because I felt that it is not really for me. So yeah, I'm just working as a freelancer. It's really cool and it's fun at the same time.
So, you are like spread out through the
Yeah,
entire industry.
yeah, absolutely.
Doing,
I work in every industry. Yeah.
that is good because I saw your portfolio. It was extremely good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because I'll just link your Instagram
Sure, sure.
in the description because it's really good and people can check it out.
Thank you.
So, working in all these industries, has COVID changed anything in your life?
Um, For me, no, not really. It did not
Hmm.
affect me at all, to be honest, because
Okay.
my work is basically a service based work.
Oh.
So, what happened is actually increased my business,
Oh.
on the other hand,
Okay.
because now everyone wants to come online. Excuse me, right? So everyone wants design.
Hmm.
So you need to understand this thing that people have this concept that designing is something that not everyone uses, or you don't really have much opportunity. It's a really, bad concept, or not a thing that you should believe in. Okay, because every freaking industry which is out there, they require designs in some way or the other. Okay, talk about branding, talk about social media, talk about product designing, talk about anything, app,
A
UI.
simple visiting card needs to be
Absolutely, yeah,
designed.
yeah. Your banner, your anything is designing. So it's a bad thing to even believe in the fact that you don't require a designer in this world. That's not a good thing to believe in. But
Absolutely.
the thing is, what happens is when COVID hit, right? In around so towards the end of March in India, I guess, if I'm not
Yeah,
wrong,
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
last
end
year.
of March. Yes.
Right. Yeah. So what happened is the business incredibly increased for me. So people were constantly, we have to come online because we can't work anymore offline. So we have to hit the business.
Yeah, they don't have point of sales
Yeah,
anymore.
right. And so they're like, we don't know like when it will end. We don't know how it will end, and what would be the time period. We cannot wait for it. So we have to start doing our branding. We have to start doing our social media. We have to come online one after another. So incredibly, the business overflew. It was like constantly one after one project. So I'm probably doing say 3 to 4 projects per day. So
My
it's
God.
just imagine
Yeah.
how many you are doing per month or per week basis. So yeah, it's like I think for the service based, and also because maybe my kind of work doesn't require that kind of things because I'm sitting at home. Even if it's even if the COVID did not hit, I was working offline. Okay, I was working online. I was working remote. I was not going out for my work. I was always working remote. So it has
So
been
you
like
take
no change at
meetings
all.
online also?
Absolutely, absolutely. The
Okay.
meetings, the podcasts, the workshops, everything I do online, and we get it done, and then it comes out to the public, to the audience, and everything, and for the workshops and everything. and we make sure that the deadlines are there. We make sure that the payments are made on time, so that the work is done and the project is completed within the due time. And so yeah, it works fine. I think for me the main reason was, since I did not require much things, it's just Wi-Fi, it's just phone network, and it's just softwares on my laptop. Nothing else is required. So yeah, it works
So
fine.
in a way, COVID increased.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It has been opposite for me.
So there's like one good thing that has come out of
Right,
COVID.
right.
Right. Coming to money,
Hmm.
have you ever like had to haggle for money,
Yeah,
or the client played tricks that they did not have to pay you?
yeah. I think in last year I have faced probably 2 to 3 clients, probably.
Okay.
Okay, and it was a very small amount of money. But the thing is, I hate betrayal. Okay, I'm a person that who is like, if I'm thinking about say business set of mind, or if I'm thinking as a personal set of mind as well. Okay, so for my perspective, my morals are being that I'm a very good human being, and I'm very loyal, and I'm very honest. Okay, and if I think that I need to tell the clients that this is the thing that we require for the work that you are assigning me to, that I'm going to tell you. Okay, so even if you don't like it, I'm going to give you the suggestion. Then take it or not take it, that's completely up to you. But I'm going to be honest with you that how it's going to work. Fine. So what happens, because see, when you work more, your responsibilities are more, and people are expecting more from you, right? And so if you don't live up to your expectations, then you are failing yourself. So you have to know how you're doing the work. So what happens is, if you are say honest, and you are doing your work with every client, but not every client is same, right? There are people who are dishonest, there are people who are not, they are trying to play tricks and all those things. So what happens is, one time there was this thing. It was in, I think probably in the last year, May, April or May, that there was this client. I later on heard that it was a big scam, and he looted a lot of money from a lot of people, and people were looking for him and all. So what happened, that guy said that he was from this big, what was that? From this big company. He has been working there, and all those descriptions, whatever. And he told me that I need to make this logo and everything, and I gave him the logo in WhatsApp in a very bad format. You understand, like in WhatsApp you're
Yeah, yeah,
sending the
the low
file.
quality that
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have to provide.
So
Yeah,
I did not even give the watermark, because I knew that, okay, this is obviously cannot be used and all, and I did not use mail. So what happened is, he used that. Okay, and basically that guy was harassing me. He would
yeah.
call
Oh,
me at like, we had a conversation, like he told me in the evening that we need this thing, and I told him, okay, but I don't think like this is the thing that you want, but okay, fine, I'll make you. And I sent him the files in WhatsApp. But what happened is, he called me up later, and he said that this is not what we're looking for, we need completely different. But I'm like, fine, okay. And I did not take advance for that payment, because we were not fixing the things at the time. That was the biggest
okay.
mistake I did,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
because I trusted the guy. And
okay.
what happened was, then I told him, like, he was constantly disturbing and all that thing. So I said, I don't think I would like to continue the work. You probably hired some other person. He constantly kept calling me, messaging me till morning. And then I had to finally tell him that, I'll complain against you if you keep doing this. And then also he did not stop. Then I blocked him from everywhere. And later on, like a couple of months later, I don't know what happened. I just searched the name. I just searched it randomly in Instagram and other places, and I saw that they have been using my logo. They have been using the banners and other designs I made for them. Then I screenshotted the entire thing. I posted it in LinkedIn. People reached out, they shared it, and they came to know that this is a fraud and all those things, and how the entire thing has happened. And I have learned later on. I posted this everywhere on every social media, so that people know that what is going on, and they shouldn't engage with this person, and because they can come across this entire same situation, because he did not pay me for this, and whatever. And he was supposed to set up a e-commerce business or something, and he has actually looted a lot of money from a lot of people, and people were looking for him. So yeah, it happens.
I
Yeah, but
have
I
had
think
similar
Yeah, but
experiences.
I think you need to go through these processes, okay? So even if you like, you have to go through the bad experiences as well, because the
Absolutely.
world is not a fairy tale, right? You have to know what is what, so that you realize, okay, I'm my mind is set up for this kind of people as well, and I can deal with them.
You have to take an advance. It does not
Right,
matter if
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
a
I don't
small
know.
amount of
Yeah,
5,000.
absolutely. I don't know what happened that I just feel like, yeah, okay. Like,
No, but we all make these mistakes,
yeah,
right? I have not taken an advance on a project that was like 50K.
right, right. That was the biggest
Yeah,
mistake,
yeah.
probably. I
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
always do.
They do not pay. I mean, once the work is done, and me being the dumbass that I am, send them the correct
Never do
resolution.
that. You never do that. I,
Because I was starting out right then. I
right,
was like
right.
a year into the thing, and me thinking that they were actually
Huh,
not playing a scam, but
huh.
yeah, into the whole thing, I gave them the high resolution file, and then
Mm-hmm.
finally I
It
tried
doesn't matter.
calling and calling and
It doesn't
calling,
matter.
and nothing, nobody picked up.
Like when this kind of,
Yeah,
yeah, when
go
this
on,
kind
go
of
on, go on.
when this kind of things happen, you should just immediately always keep the screenshots, keep the conversations,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
if things happen, just post it online because people need to see what is happening because then they would like be aware of this kind of companies. It is very much
What
important.
do you think this podcast is? It's just all my bad experiences that I've had. I'm putting it online.
Right, right.
Okay, so moving on.
Huh.
What are the apps that you generally use to create the illustrations that you make and post on Instagram?
Right.
We'll
I
focus
usually
this
do.
episode on illustration only.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay. I mostly use for illustrations is Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator.
You have a
Nothing else.
graphics tablet?
No, I have a Paint tab. I don't have a graphics tablet.
Oh,
Those are
okay.
two different things. So
Yeah,
Paint
yeah,
tab
yeah.
is basically like it gives you like a paper feel. You have like a tablet, which is I probably have the lowest budget thing. Okay, I don't have anything.
The
Like
one
I
from
have
like Wacom.
yeah
Ah,
Wacom.
okay.
I have it is the smallest one, 6.8 inches का जो होता है.
The
I have
bamboo
that
one,
one.
na?
Yeah, I have that one, which is 3.5K or something, probably. Yeah, I have that and I use that. I don't have anything else.
So, would you like to shift to a graphics tablet? Because I've seen like working on a bigger screen is
I don't know.
okay. Okay.
I probably, I think when people say like I'm not fit for this or something, I disagree with those kind of people because you think that you are not fit for this right at this moment. You don't know what will happen 2 to 3 years after or what your mindset will be. So right now, I feel that I'm not okay for that. Like I'm not up for that crappy tablet. Excuse me. But later on, maybe yeah, obviously why not? Like if I feel that I can do better work and I'm just easy to it's easy to pick on those things and learn those things because it will take some time to be very fluent in that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
So until and unless I get that time frame so that I can learn and I can build on it. So maybe until then, obviously not. Otherwise, yeah, I think laptop is the cool thing. I always feel like you have everything in it. You can do anything with the laptop. I always feel laptop is the best.
And what are your thoughts on the iPad and Procreate? Like those are one
Yeah, I
of the most
love Procreate.
expensive.
Yeah, I kind of love Procreate. I'm looking forward to use Procreate maybe in few years. To be honest, I want to use it because the kind of designs which come out from Procreate is mind-boggling. Okay, and the things you can do with it, and the level of what do I say, the expertise. Okay, the kind of designs and the level of all the kinds of forms and layers and visualizing and all those things that you can do there, you probably cannot do in somewhere else.
So
Definitely.
it's like iPad and Procreate make you a better illustrator?
Um, See, I always felt that to be honest, I tell this everywhere, and this is the thing that if you want to learn something, you have to learn in the things which is the low cost, there is low investment, and you have to be very good at it. So don't look for the luxurious things. Okay, so if you go for those kind of things, it's basically मुझे ये चाहिए वो चाहिए, otherwise I can't work. You shouldn't be that kind of a designer. You should be a person like not just designer, like any field. Like you should know कि I cannot have like anything and I can still make the thing. Okay, it's like that. So,
So it's like bare bones,
yeah,
but like
absolutely.
even if you are without any tools, you can
Yeah,
produce the same quality.
you have to. Yeah, exactly. You have to be that good because then only you know, right? Like how far you can make it, right? How I like how much you can push yourself. Otherwise, how would you realize, right? And because if you
Absolutely.
have the luxury of all these kinds of things, then you are basically given all the set of tools and now you're using it. But you don't really know from scratch or from other things if you can do it without the help of these things. So when I started out, even today, like I never like illustration was never my forte. My forte was typography, calligraphy, fonts, and lettering, all these kinds of things. Okay, I was like extremely in love with the fonts. You have no idea. Like I wouldn't do any kind of designs other than typography. I was so in love with those things, and like I love how the fonts work. I love how the fonts speak and how it makes you feel and all those kinds of expressions and all. People think that only the finer portions and the drawings and all those things have feelings, but it's more towards the fonts which make it come out more in a beautiful way. Okay. So I love that. So what I used to do is I never had used the Adobe softwares before. So when I started out, I was working on pen and pen. Sorry, not pencil, like pen and paper. I never use pencil for one reason because it gives you a hope of there is a chance of redoing it. You should never keep that hope. You should always know that you do not have a chance. You have limited time. You have limited tools, and you have to make it work within the time. So I always set my mind even when I started out. So I always had like even I have like the entire like copy of pages. I made sure that I have only one page to work on. So if there is a mistake, I have to turn that mistake into a design. Okay. So I yeah, so I worked on that. So I used pens which were like 3 rupees, 5 rupees normal writing pens. I never used those kinds of like the typography kind of pens or
Yeah,
those
the
brushes
calligraphy
you get.
pens.
Yeah, I never use those because I felt like okay, if I have to invest so much money, then I don't think it's worth it. I would rather use something that has no investment. I literally never had any kind of investment in designing. Never. Like I only bought things that I required, nothing else at like any point of time. So it was very easy for me to keep it going from my end. So yeah, I think like I would suggest that if you want to go for Procreate, iPad, or anything like that, it's very good. Like if you're good in it. But if you feel that like if you have this concept that I cannot be a designer, I cannot be something in this world because I do not have the money to buy these things, then that is a wrong concept, right?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
you
It's
don't
your
need
talent
those
at the
things.
end.
Exactly. It's at the end of the day, it's how you are making the things work and not how many things you have to make that thing. It's like the basic baseline. That's it, the fundamental thing. Okay. So yeah, I would say that even if you buy those things, fine, but learn how to do the things. That's all.
So let's get back to some client things.
Sure, sure.
I will give you a scenario, which will be easy.
Right.
Imagine there's a client and they are coming to you. You charge around 10K for an illustration, but they
Okay.
don't have 10K. They have
Right.
1.5K. So how do you
Huh.
transform this into a profitable deal?
Right, right. So I'll tell you one thing that there are designs which are similar kinds of illustrations. I the thing is the Indian community or the Indian concept. They have this thing that designing is something which is not something to be done by everyone, and because it is not a very repetitive job or anything like that, so they would charge you very less, right? That is the concept. Okay, so for them, I always have a base price or anything for the illustration is around say one character, maybe 1.5K, 2K. Okay. So for other kinds of like it depends on it's not the total price. Okay. So it's like I charge draft wise. So for example, there is this designs, the illustrations that I do that you have seen in my field, the last designs that I've done. So those kind of illustration for some clients can cost you 5,000, for some other clients can cost you 50,000 each illustration. So I have done one illustration for some people which cost me up one design for 35,000, but the same kind of illustration has cost me say 2 to 3K. So it's basically how much effort I'm putting into it. For me, it's not the pricing of the form; it's the effort I'm putting into it. So if I'm thinking that this is a constant client that I'm going to have, okay, then I would rather charge less, but I have to charge much more than the price that, like, it's like, for example, that I have a base price, right? Okay. So if you have a cost price, you are not going to go lower than that, right? So you have to have that mark so that it's not a loss, it's not a profit, but it's paid off, right? So it's like that. So for any client which is a constant client, maybe, so I would rather maybe think, okay, fine, if they cannot afford say 5,000 or 10,000 and they're giving me a mark between the two, then I would probably stick to it because they're going to give me a long run in the business, because they will be continuous and they will be working with me for a long time, right? So it's a constant loop of money that will be coming to me instead of just 10,000 or just 5,000. Okay. So it's better that way. Yeah, so it's a constant business I've got. But suppose it's a one-time business and the pricing is way too low. I'd never take the profit.
You
And
downright
it's not,
just tell them
yeah,
no.
I tell them, yeah, because for me, see, it's not just for me, every designer, anyone should know it, that the pricing of the material doesn't come from the work itself. It comes from the quality, it comes from how you are pricing it. So, for example, if there is a brand, any brand, just Armani, Viva, whatever, okay. So, if you are buying a product from their center, right, it's gonna cost you a lot of money. But if you are going to buy the same product for some another, any stall or anything, okay, but it has the same design, it has the same quality, but they cannot charge you the same money because it's not the brand, okay. So you understand the pricing basically comes from a lot of things. What's your experience? How your portfolio is? How much work have you done? Like, can you handle this? How you're negotiating? How the quality of the thing is? How detailed it is, or how simple it is? Like everything, it is dependent on that. Okay.
So
So,
basically,
huh,
if you have a
huh.
client who's lowballing you, you either convert them into a repeat customer,
Yeah,
or if they
yeah,
are giving
yeah.
you a one time job, you say no.
No, because for me, you have to give me a base price that is required. I cannot go lower than
No,
that.
no,
It's impossible
absolutely,
because
absolutely.
if you go lower than that, yeah, absolutely. Because if you go lower than that, then basically what happens is you cannot come up to that price that you were working at, and they will take you as very granted. Okay, and you cannot let that happen. That's the one thing. And secondly is you charge yourself because you think that you are good at it. You understand that you are giving the quality that is required, which the other designers or other people who are working in the same field of yours cannot give. So you are not going to set yourself as a person who is much lower than that value. So if I believe in that I'm going to charge this because I know I'm giving the best out there, then I'm going to charge that. There is no compromise with that.
So, have you ever come across people who compare digital illustrations
Yeah.
to physical illustrations?
Yeah, all the time.
And they are like, why are you charging so much for
Yeah.
digital art? And I would rather pay
Uh-huh.
this amount to somebody who's working with paints and canvas, where here you are doing it digitally, just dragging and dropping things. Because I have heard this.
Yeah, it happens all the time. So I wouldn't say all the time. It used to happen previously, to be honest, but nowadays it doesn't. So what happens is basically, first of all, the designers out there who are, if you are hearing this, you have to understand. Stop pricing so less. Okay, you deserve more. You have to understand. Even if you're starting out, it doesn't matter. It absolutely doesn't matter. You have to understand what the prices are and how the pricing is done. So if you don't do that, so what happens is the other sectors of the people who are already established or who are already constantly working, they have to be like, they are forced to give the products at a much lower price than they would like to, because they are getting this kind of designs, maybe not so of good quality, but similar kind of from those designers who are out there and making the designs at a very low price. So you are thinking that if I give designs at a low price, then probably I'll have more business. But you are not understand that you are losing out on money and time, both of them. Okay. So
And what do you
huh,
say to these people?
right, yeah. So what happens is when they do these things, so they have this concept that physical illustrations, or if I'm like doing it in hand, so I'm taking more time. So obviously it's like more effort and all those kinds of things. But people have to understand that these are two different categories. right? It's like two different subjects, like biology and maths. Maths has its own way of progressing in it. Science has its own way of progressing in it. Okay. So if I'm talking about biology, if I'm like, say it's a digital illustration, so I have to understand the tools, I have to understand the software knowledge, I have to know the palette, and I have to construct all those things, and then only I'll be able to produce the same. In the same way, it's not about knowing the pen, pencil, and the paper in this case, but to construct the thing itself. So both of them equally have their hard work and problems, and people are constantly working on those things to get you the product. So neither of them is actually easier. Both of them are equally hard. There is no in between. Like there is no something is much better or something is less. It's not
So
that.
basically, paying for the person rather than the
Exactly,
artwork.
exactly.
Yes.
You are paying for all the things that you are putting into it, not just you. Because people have this concept that you are just making the thing, right? So why are you costing so much? But no, it's research, it's your experience, it's your software knowledge, it's your palettes, it's your continuous iteration process of how you are making it. Everything together makes out a design, brings out a design, and not just those kind of just I'm working on it.
Absolutely, because I have had the same problems. Like, there was a time when I was doing a bunch of posters for these people, and
Right,
they were like, "Why are you charging so much when I can just pay the same amount of money to a painter and get these things made from them and pay them happily because they have equipment and other things, while you are just doing it on a computer." To which I just burst into a monologue where I was like, "Ma'am, you don't understand. I have bills to
right,
pay, electricity, software costs, and everything."
right, exactly.
And they said no. So I'm
I
still
never
owed
take
that
up those
money.
kinds of things. I actually never pick up those kinds of clients, to be honest, because when they have this kind of see, I'm always open to making people understand of how everything works and why if this is going to charge you more, because you need to require the clients need to understand like how the process works, because a lot of the times the clients don't know, right? So it's not their fault as well. Like if you make them understand, then obviously they will understand the entire process and everything. So I always make them understand, and when they're comfortable, then we go on with the project. But I never take up those kinds of clients work who are continuously doing this, because I know if we are having trouble having this conversation, then we are going to have trouble even working, and it's going to be like a nightmare. So I would rather not waste time on those kinds of things and rather pick up projects that will help me grow and challenge myself instantly.
Okay, so this is coming to a close. Very quickly,
Right.
can you tell us about the process that you generally follow for illustrating without going
Yeah.
into the depths of
Yeah,
it?
sure. I think for me, there are different things that I look into. First of all, is what am I going to make and what would be the topic. So, for example, I'll give you some examples first, then I'll explain. Then maybe it will be easier for you. So, suppose every weekend, like I don't get like break in that way. I usually take break anytime I want to, depending on my freelance work. So, suppose if I'm working for continuously and then I'm taking a break and I have gone to Netflix, switched it on, and I'm watching something. And then it hit my mind one day, like when I was watching that, what are the thoughts that come to my mind when I'm watching Netflix, right? So I went and I wrote down, like I was watching something and I wrote down instantly the contents that came into my mind, and I switched it off and I switched back to Adobe and I started working on it. So content and your topic can come from anywhere. That's what I'm trying to explain. Okay, it has to be executed probably properly so that people understand. It's not about what topic you are choosing. So choosing the topic is the most important thing, how you're working first. So suppose you can go to the Instagram, Pinterest, or anywhere and you can find any topic. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you cannot topic from a daily life routine or anything that has happened. So today I can sit down and I can think about we had a postcard and I want to make something on this. Or maybe suppose I had a weird conversation with a client and I want to make something on that. But understand always that whenever you are making something, don't make fun of people in that way or don't offend someone in that way. Okay. So suppose whenever you do those things, the people realize that you are mocking someone or taunting someone, and that's why they start hating you and not like your work. So don't do that. Do it in a positive way so that people understand it. So you have to conceptualize the thing first in that way. So how would I put it out so that people understand? Okay, that is the first. Second is what I do. I don't know about others. What most of the people usually do, I have heard that they do sketches or they do hand drawings or they do, you know, drawings in digital board or something, and they make the art board or mood board. I don't do any of those things. I think entirely the entire designs in my mind. Okay, so I'll just sit down. Maybe I'm just watching something. I'm just sitting, and I'll just think about how the face will be, what I want it to like show, how the color palette would be, how the fonts would be, how I want to write it. And nowadays, I don't use fonts for my own work most of the times. I handwrite it, like not handwrite, like digitally write it. So if you see my most of the like I have been asked like what are the fonts you use, but this is true. Like if you see proper fonts, those are the fonts. But if you don't see like it looks more like handwriting, that is actually my handwriting. That's not okay font. So I set entire thing in my mind. So suppose I'm making 5 slides, I'll think the entire design in my mind. When it is complete in my mind, then I get back to work and I do it digitally. Before that, I don't start. Okay. And then I go to say Adobe softwares. I work in Illustrator, or I work in Photoshop, depending. So it doesn't matter. Okay, people have this concept that they think that if I do this kind of design, it is out there, so people wouldn't like it. It doesn't matter. It's about how you're explaining it, how you're executing it, and how it comes out. If it looks good, then it is going to hit the people. That's the thing. It doesn't matter like what format or whatever you're using. And I would suggest do not use mainstream things or do not use mainstream knowledge. Do not go for this is in the YouTube which says that it has to be done in this particular way. Take the knowledge, okay, and then use it and conceptualize and try to find it and figure it in our own way that how you are going to do it. So suppose there is a pen tool or brush tool, okay, and you have learned how to use it. But I would rather say figure out how else you can use it. Then you will be more comfortable with your art form. So I did the same thing. I figured out how I want to use it rather than going for the mainstream way, and then use this because so what I did was I was doing some illustrations and I felt, you know what, this is okay, this is out there, and I would like to do more like the vector illustrations and other things. But I created a market of my own for the clients that people liked it so much that they want this to be in their market. Okay. So try to go for these kinds of things. So it's yeah, just conceptualize first of all the entire thing, like how you want to do it in a positive way. Second is either sketch or digitally make the artboard or mood board, or think about the process entirely in your mind. Anything that is the second point. Third is go to the softwares, whichever software is okay for you. It doesn't matter if you're just doing Illustrator, Adobe, Sketch, or all those kinds of things as well, which is in your phone. And if you have like a notepad or anything, use that. It doesn't matter. You have to have the output. Okay. So use that. Then first, after completing the work, go through the minute, absolute details where the lines are overlapping, how the color is there, if you have mixed the color palette or not, because the different shades of the colors are different. Okay, so if you're picking up a color palette and if you're seeing that this color is in different shade with another, change it. Don't keep it because you think that it is looking better and you feel that this is a design that I've made. Designing doesn't work like that. You have to understand there are rules. You have to understand that how everything works, and you cannot just put colors or fonts or anything anywhere and it's a design. It's not a design. Okay, so learn the basics as well at the same time and improve yourself all the time. So that would be your fourth point, that detailing color palette font is important. Okay. And number 5 is, I would say that when you have finished it, sit with it for some time. Do not just log out of your system. Sit with it for some time and think that what you are doing wrong. Is there anything wrong with it? Okay. So there are times that I have finished the project in an hour, but I have sat with the project for 5 hours straight just to think that this line would go under or over. Okay. So you have to come with that precision and detailing so that you understand, okay, this is the level I'm going to hit. Okay, that is basically the 5 things I would say you have to do for your process.
So just not go for anything
No, no.
mainstream, build your own process.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's good to learn what is out there, definitely. Like I would say that vector illustration, algorithm is absolutely learn all those kinds of things. But that doesn't
Yeah,
mean that
and
you
then
will
make your own
improve. Yeah,
process. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Because if you don't do that, then how will you know that if you're improving or not, right? You'd have to know that.
Okay, so we'll move on to the final question.
Sure, sure.
What is your advice for people who are just starting
People
out?
starting out? Yeah. Okay. First of all, no luxury items. Okay. If you have a pen, paper, or pencil, start with it. I would suggest don't start with pencils, start with pen. Because when you start with pen, then you know that you have limited time period, you have limited, opportunities to make mistakes. And even if you make mistakes, learn how to turn them into designs or something creative. Okay, and I think that is, yeah, that is the first point. Okay, second is basically learn every day. So what when I started out, I never did designs for the entire day before I was continuously working. Okay, I made sure that even if I am continuously working the entire day, I am working on my own project at least for a couple of hours every day. So suppose if I'm working 15 hours today for the client's work, I have to work on my project tomorrow as well for my own personal project. So if you lose out a day, you are basically telling yourself, and you are procrastinating. So you will be procrastinating every day. It will be a habit of yours. You won't be able to, again come back to the situation when you have the full form of, I want to work hard and I want to do it. Because you'll be like, why would I want to do it? I don't like to do it. So you need to have an ambition. That is the third point. Okay. So you need to have a constant ambition, goals, set your goals. You need to have your hourly goals, you need to have your weekly goals, you need to have your monthly and your long term goals. So don't go for your long term goals like what people said 25 years mein kya karna hai. I don't care. What do you want to do in 1 year? Think about that first. Then only you will know what position you will be in 25 years. Okay. So
Exactly,
one
bite-sized goals.
yeah, absolutely. Like in 1 year, what am I going to learn? So suppose if I have checklist of this kind of things, vector illustration, logo, इसमें काम करना है. Then I'll go through all the things and I have to learn those things so that I'm better at these things. I'm not saying completely finishing it, being better at it. So suppose if you're in the beginner stage, then I would rather go in the intermediate stage in this year. Okay, and make sure you fulfill those goals, because if you don't do that, then क्या होगा कि you are constantly like, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that, like every time you'll be upset. Okay, so setting your goals is very, very important. Number four is start working on projects. I'm not talking about taking clients. Do not take clients when you have started out. I would never suggest that. What people do is they have worked for say a month or two and they think that they have become designers. It doesn't happen. Trust me, it doesn't happen. Do your personal projects, do your own topics, like I do. Like I pick up projects every day or anything, maybe 4 days or 5 days a week I pick up topics and I'll do that. Maybe the other 2 or 3 days I'll do the mock-ups or anything, or content writing, or as such I'll post, right? So pick up your own projects and put it out. Then what will happen is, if you're picking up your projects, then you know ki if this kind of themes or anything that comes on your road, you know how to conceptualize it. So you're basically training your mind even without going into the industrial field directly. Okay. So you're basically, it's like an internship of your own. That's the thing.
Yeah, so
So
prepare yourselves first and
absolutely.
then go to
Yeah,
the clients.
absolutely. So at least work for, I would say, 6 months to 1 year, then go into the field of your internship or anything.
They will
Then
also have a portfolio to show.
yeah, absolutely. And also like you will have those confidence that, when I started working, people if people told me like how long you have been working, then I would say, yeah, I've been working for sorry, I've been learning for 2 years, I'm in designing for 2 years. But I would never say that I haven't worked before. I would never say that I haven't learned before, because I'm not lying. I was actually learning and working for 2 years on all the kinds of projects that I could get my hand on. And yeah, it is very required, because otherwise people will not treat you in proper way. They will think that you don't have a better concept about your designs, which is a very bad thing. And thirdly, that if you don't do the designs properly, then you are not making a proper reputation, right? So constantly, if you're going from like one industry to another, which is very good, like I would suggest, but if you're not working properly, then you have a very bad reputation. That's the thing. And finally, I would suggest that learn different kinds of things. Don't stick to one kind of design. Never do that. Because first of all, there is always a chance that if it becomes monotonous, then your concepts are not growing. Okay. So if you see my portfolio or anything, you would probably see most of them are illustrations and anything, because those are the things I usually post. Because people are like in Instagram, those are usually the kind of people who have in my feed. But in LinkedIn, I usually post like different kinds of things. So I post like logo, UI. I post product designs or different kinds of things that I do. I post there. Sometimes I do that in Instagram as well, but mostly in LinkedIn, because I feel that people are more prepared for it there than in Instagram. That's the thing. But yeah, so those are basically the things I would say that you should do. That number one is don't start off with something luxurious. Second is have goals. Third is learn different kinds of things at the same time. Number four is uh, doing your own self projects and not doing all those kinds of things, and instead of thinking that this will not work. And five is another thing. What did I say? I think it was kind of precision and detailing and all those things, right?
Sit
And
with your
another,
designs, huh?
yeah,
Yes.
absolutely, like consistency, right? Yeah. And the most important thing is don't go for this kind of mindset that I'll get tired of designing. Don't go for this kind of mindset that if you're working for 15 hours a day, I do not want to do this anymore. Always know why you started this, because if you don't have a why, it is very bad, or it's very disturbing or a problem to continue, because after a time period, then you will get very what do I say, dissatisfied. You'll get very frustrated. You'll get
Burnout.
those kinds of things of I don't want to do this, I'm wasting my time. Then self doubts, those kind of problems will arise. So know your why you want to do this. Then only you will have an answer to this is the reason I'm pushing everything.
Cool. So, thank you for joining us. I
Thank you
would have
for
liked
having
to
me.
keep this thing going on for a long time, but I have to keep these things short.
Sure,
But I'd love to collaborate on a typography episode if you're interested,
sure.
because a lot of people here would actually like to learn about type, because it's very
Absolutely.
interesting what you said. Type
Yeah,
has its own
yeah,
personality.
yeah, yeah.
And
It's mesmerizing. It's really
yes,
good.
absolutely. So we'll do one thing. We'll set up a date and an episode for typography, and we'll talk about it. But
Sure.
for now, thank you for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.
Hope we will see you in some other episode.
Absolutely,
Chalo.
absolutely.
Yes. Bye bye.
Thank you.